Welcome back, it's 9, and today I have another big video for you guys following CES 2021, where yesterday I dropped a video quickly talking about what we saw in the latest trailer. We're going to go over that and what some of these reports mean. We're also going to be talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake coming to the PS5 as a definitive edition, as well as the trademarks, what they could possibly mean, according to a leaker with a good track record. And lastly, we're going to be discussing the success of the PS5. Now, before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Let's get started with this article that comes from videogameschronicle.com. This is titled Ghostwire Tokyo is releasing October 2021, Project Athia in January 2022, and Pragmata delayed to 2023. Now, this was a really exciting announcement. First of all, if you guys watched yesterday's video, I got really excited about it. You know, I just wanted to put it out there and I'd gather my thoughts and we'd come back to it today. And we're going to discuss what a lot of these dates mean and what they could mean for titles a little bit further into the future. So Sony has confirmed target launch windows for a number of upcoming PlayStation 5 games from first and third parties. In a CES 2021 video presentation, the company reiterated that it will publish Housemarque's Returnal this March, as well as Insomniac Games' Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart and Guerrilla Games' Horizon Forbidden West in 2021. So we know unlikely to have delays there because, well, they've doubled down, tripled down now on these dates. On the third-party front, Kena Bridge's Spirits by Ember Labs will be released in March, Solar Ash in June, and Little Devil Inside in July. Guys, these are a lot of games back to back to back. So then we have Stray and Ghostwire Tokyo that will follow these in October. This is going to be a crazy year for the PS5, and we're not even talking about Gran Turismo 7 and God of War Ragnarok just yet. Now, Otherworldly Adventure, Project Athia, guys, this is a massive IP that is going to be a 2-year console exclusive from Square Enix, is scheduled to release in January of 2022. This is a lot sooner than I anticipated, and I'm sure many people anticipated. We know Square Enix to show their games early and them not to arrive years and years into the future. And it seems like they've learned that lesson. We've seen FF7 Remake make it out in a timely manner after their barrage of information. Obviously, from initial showing, it took a while for them to get back on track. But we are looking at Project Athia coming in January 2022 until further notice. If Square Enix says that's not the case, or Sony, we are to assume that that is happening because that was in their official trailer. This is one of the biggest announcements, to me at least, from that CES trailer. I think this tells us a lot about what's to come for Sony and the PlayStation 5 come 2022. Because if they're opening with Project Athia, I can't imagine what else they're going to have that year. Now, Pragmata, a lot of you guys talked about it last video saying, hey, it looks like it's been delayed. Well, this is Capcom's first original franchise in 8 years, and this has been delayed from 2022 to 2023. So it looks like this won't be coming, at least according to this, in 2022 anymore, which is what we expected previously. How do I feel about that? I feel if they need the extra time, go for it, because honestly, after Cyberpunk 2077, I am more than okay with waiting to play a complete product that's stable than to play a rushed product or an incomplete product earlier. That's pretty much what it is. Now, the elephant in the room, guys, where was God of War in those mentions? Where was Gran Turismo 7 in those mentions? These games are supposed to come out in 2021. What's happening on that front? I will say the reason we probably didn't see anything about those two games, and I said this in the last video, was that it didn't really make the trailer, right? There was nothing about it in the trailer, so that's probably why they weren't mentioned. As far as we know, these two games are still slated for 2021 until Sony says otherwise. I could totally see these games coming in 2021, but again, as I've said before, and I know some of you agree with me, some of you don't, that 2021 is packed. We have a lot of games coming. Do we really need more first-party AAA games? Hey, I'm not complaining. If they happen, I am more than happy to get these games. But in the event that they decide to push those a little further out to kind of separate their releases, give them time to breathe, get them time to be consumed by consumers, I think it makes sense. But again, I would be more than happy to get God of War Ragnarok and GT7 in 2021. So we'll leave it at that with this article. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you haven't seen this already, what do you make of all this information? On to our next topic, and this is all about Final Fantasy VII Remake again. This comes from WCCFtech.com, and it's titled Final Fantasy VII Remake PlayStation 5 version could be announced in February. So Reset Era Forums member Navtra, who proved to be extremely reliable last year in regards to Final Fantasy XVI rumors, revealed that the PlayStation 5 version of the game and a new entry in the Life is Strange series will be announced soon, right after the reveal of Final Fantasy XIV's next expansion. He says Square announcements are piling up. We're getting 14's next expansion reveal next month, and 7R PS5 and Life is Strange 3 should be soon after. He says thing is, talking when is tricky due to the current circumstances. Games that were targeting this quarter for release as late as last summer didn't even get trailers since, so I can never be too sure about when something is announced/released. With that said, I believe we're getting these announcements sometime in February. I just can't be 100% sure about it. When asked about the recent Final Fantasy VII Remake related trademarks, he says, I'm not sure what those are, to be honest. Ever Crisis sounds like it may be the umbrella name for the remake project going forward, but that's just a guess. So still, obviously, we don't have much information on that. The one thing I'd like to point out is that PlayStation did have a 1-year exclusive from release date, and that came out in April. So the chances of this coming out in February, I think, are up in the air. Unless it's like a small timed exclusive for the definitive edition, maybe the PlayStation gets it first for a few months, and then once that 1-year mark is up, then Final Fantasy VII Remake Definitive Edition will launch everywhere? Or do they consider the Definitive Edition a different game from the original Final Fantasy VII Remake? I don't know what the contract looks like. This could be something that could go either way, but surely I expect a Definitive Edition to happen. I think most people do, given how late the game came out, and it could really take advantage of the PlayStation 5. And obviously, it's supposed to launch on PC and Xbox as far as we know, so naturally, it would get a Definitive Edition eventually. But on to our next topic, and this comes from PSU.com, and it's titled PS5 was the most successful PlayStation launch and the biggest console launch ever, according to Jim Ryan. So Sony's Jim Ryan has finished his CES 2021 presentation tonight, and in it, he revealed that the PS5 was the most successful PlayStation launch ever and the biggest console launch of all time. He hasn't given us any sales figures or anything like that, but we will likely see sales figures for the PS5 in the coming months as Sony holds investor meetings and reports sales figures both internally and externally, so we can likely expect that soon, and we'll definitely go over that when that happens. I know some of us are very intrigued by sales figures, and some of us just don't care. We just want to play games, which is completely fair as well. As we can see, the PS5 is doing incredible. You know, recently it launched in India. Pre-orders went through the roof. They sold everything within minutes is what they said. And so it doesn't surprise me. The PS5 is a well-sought-after console. At this point, everybody wants it. When I say everybody, I mean most people who are gaming want it. And I don't blame them. It's a great console. I have one myself. Lots of titles coming in 2021. There's plenty to play even right now. I think that there's a lot to offer for fans of the PlayStation 5. I am curious to see what happens as the sales figures come out because honestly, it's pretty crazy how hard it is to get one of these consoles. I think that probably by summertime, we're looking at a little more lax, time getting consoles. But even then, I think that, they're going to be hard to keep on the shelves. People are really wanting this console, and I don't blame them. It is an incredible experience on this platform. And I imagine that this won't end anytime soon in terms of just walking in and there's a whole stack of them, in the cabinet or on the wall. So maybe down the road, maybe in 2022, we'll see that. But I think for now, yeah, we're only going to get a little bit easier to come by these consoles. And that's probably by the summertime when they're able to output even more. But basically, yeah, that's all I have for you guys for this video. I'm very curious what you guys are going to make of this. So I'm going to ask you, what do you think of all these release dates and this possible delay for Pragmata? Are you worried about it? And also, how do you feel about them not mentioning God of War or Gran Turismo 7 in that trailer? How do you feel about Final Fantasy VII Remake getting a PS5 edition? Do you think this is real? What do you think of the PlayStation having the most successful PlayStation launch and the biggest console launch ever, which is really saying something? let me know in the comments. And as always, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos. And you can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Links will be in the description, and share this video with a friend. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.